Welcome back, Star Pilots, to NYC X-Wing. My name is Neuvost.
And I'm Steve Wooten.
We have a great game here from the top table of the most recent Brooklyn Strategist tournament.
On the left, we have Brendan Culleton, who at the recent CT Regionals won the Day 2 side event, playing the list that he said that he was most afraid to face at that tournament. After practicing against and watching a lot of videos of how to counter Bomber Ks and TLTs, he thought he'd give it a go himself.
On the right, longtime watchers might remember John the Champ DiMaggio. He's checking out some of the brand new Wave 10 stuff here with the new Epsilon shuttle piloted by Kylo Ren and using the new score to settle, and joined by Palpatine and two Delta Squadron defenders. John recently went undefeated, the only pilot to go undefeated over 6 rounds of Swiss at the Connecticut Regionals. We're already seeing John take some K-turns, defenders doing what defenders do in the corner, keeping the Epsilon close.
Now, it's interesting in that I know that a lot of people, at least even a few months ago, would not have expected to have the Gold Squadron pilots moving second in any contest. But the Delta Squadron really has brought PS1 back into the fray in a way that things like the Academy pilot hasn't. And I know that this is a dynamic that a lot of people don't expect.
It's very interesting. Most people who play Palpatine are used to having to, or oftentimes wanting to save him for defense. Soontir Fel or Vader is going to be shooting first. And now all the defense is going to happen ahead of time, and so you can just use Palpatine on offense when you're firing last.
Oh yeah, and it looks like maybe the Upsilon might have, perhaps John just said he could activate it at the same time as the Y, but he stopped. But thanks to Pattern Analyzer, he's able to take his action before the stress from that red maneuver. So even though he probably won't use it this turn, he still gets the focus. If you chain those red and green maneuvers together with Pattern Analyzer, it's like the red maneuvers don't happen because you continue to get your actions. So I think for the Upsilon especially, I think Pattern Analyzer is really a star upgrade.
Brendan starts to come in here, slowly making his way through this fairly straightforward rows of debris and asteroids that we have here. I'm going to guess John brought the debris, considering that he has collision detector.
Also, at least from our perspective here, this looks like a very favorable defender setup as well. That I know when I play defenders, when I see lanes like this, my mouth starts to water for all the Ks you can do.
Just back and forth, just doing laps across the pool.
But I'm sure that the K bombing in general that Brendan wanted to enable also doesn't, benefit very much from closely stacked, rocks and debris. So he's probably hoping he'll be able to zip in and get a few of those Sabine boosted munitions off.
And yeah, if he can leave a Connor net in the middle of the board, that would immediately take this from being some very open lanes to some very closed ones. John continues to 4K back and forth. Hashtag just defender things. Wants to see where Brendan's going before he rushes into TLT range.
Now I know this is something that some of the more traditional PAL bases from bygone days could not do, which is just sort of stay in place for a while. And that's what these defenders are doing. And I know that John probably doesn't want to give any opportunities to Miranda to get bombs on his defenders, so he's playing his cards tight to his chest. And along with that, it looks like the Upsilon just activated and did a 1 green forward, which bumps, of course, and leaves him in the same place, but now stressless.
Miranda takes a 2-turn away from the action.
Now, looking at this, it looks like Brendan might try to have a pincer with the Ys going south, I guess I'll say, and Miranda going north, but they could just as easily straighten out next turn. We'll have to see.
Everyone's been taking it slowly.
Oh, and I think we should mention before the combat happens that it looks like a score to settle little icon is on
That's
Gold Squadron
important.
Pilot #1.
Ah, okay, okay.
That they're all hexagonal, even though I think that's kind of neat for the First Order conditions, I think, and that is their symbol, but I wish they varied the shape up for the rest.
We're going to have to also remember to keep track of who has most recently been shown the dark side.
Oh, yes. Now, that's actually good to bring up, given that this was one of the combos I know a lot of people were concerned about when the Upsilon was spoiled, which is people saying that, oh, well, you're just going to use, rock solid X7 defenders and then a shuttle, including maybe Kylo Ren with Palp on board. And we'll see how effective that is, but I know that these Delta defenders normally have a modest to minimal ability to push through crits themselves, but with Palpatine backing, things change a little bit.
Yeah.
So we'll see exactly what John does, but I suspect that he's going to be using Palpatine much more offensively than he would otherwise, because a blinded pilot is well worth one shield plinked off a Delta.
Yeah, absolutely. 2-turn for Y-Wing #1.
Mm-hmm. Looks like a 2-bank. Yeah, he doesn't want to go over that debris, but it looks like that is going to give him a bump. Not that he really needs the action right now.
Yeah, at this point that's fine. That still
Yep.
keeps his ships in nice close formation, and John is not moving in on him or anything at the moment.
Right. And there we see Pattern Analyzer go off again as Kylo Ren stops again and focuses again. Not exactly a mile a minute, but it does eliminate the problem of turning around that the shuttle still has. You don't need to if you haven't started moving yet. Looks like Brendan's going to advance slam here to miss that rock.
Interesting. Now coming around in the same...
Oh, and that looks like a target lock there. And an early target lock might change things a little bit there, but I wonder if Miranda isn't a little exposed right now, given that she can't turn back quite as well as some ships.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit... I'll be very impressed if Brendan is able to get both his Y-Wings and Miranda into the fray on the same turn without needing to awkwardly fly around himself.
Yeah, that would from here. That looks like that'd probably need like probably maybe a 4 forward from the 2 gold, 3 bank from the 1 gold, or sorry, yeah, no, from the 1 gold, for maybe a 3 bank from the 2 gold, and maybe a 3 bank from Miranda, because I think the 2 might bump, but we'll see. Maybe it's a feint and it'll turn back, but in the meantime, those defenders could
it's scary feinting going into the Epsilon's firing arc, because those 4 red dice are some scary stuff.
Absolutely, and he's got free focus to crit modification on one of them, which can cause some dirty business, and he's got Pattern Analyzer. He can always just use a target lock as well. Or just coordinate up one target lock for one of the deltas as well.
Right, the introduction of coordinate into standard play. Stephen, would you like to explain coordinate for people who've never played Epic?
Now that if you've seen Squad Leader in use, which you can be forgiven if not, because it's not been a particularly common card, coordinate works the same in that it allows you to spend an action to choose a friendly within range 1 to 2 and have them perform a free action. But unlike Squad Leader, it has no PS limitation, which is really good because typically, this is a little bit of a rule of thumb, but the higher PS ships you have generally want their actions more. So if I've got Han and 3 Tala squadrons, Han wants those actions, or Vader with some Academy ties. But with Coordinate, the Upsilon, equipped as it is with 2 crew slots, tech slots, a lot of different ways, or an EPT for Kylo Ren, it's got a lot of ways to get its business done without actually having to use its action. And then it allows you to take something like the Delta Squadron that wants a target lock but doesn't necessarily have the actions to spend for it, and just dump them in. I think it's a really cool addition to the game.
Brendan's Y-Wings turn towards the middle of the board with a turn and a bank.
Yeah, it does look like it was a little bit of a feint, as it looks like maybe the Upsilon.
Right there.
Oh, yeah, the Upsilon went forward 1 again to clear its stress, and it looks like Brendan was just mentioning that it wasn't quite flush there. Because the Upsilon is, in theory, edging forward a little bit each time. But interestingly enough, you can stop and coordinate with with Pattern Analyzer. That I was at this tournament as well, playing another Upsilon. As far as lists go, I think the Upsilon was present in the most lists
Yeah,
of
everyone
any
wanted to
new
play with the
ship.
crazy new
Yeah,
toy.
in Wave
Yeah.
10. Maybe of any ship also, considering how many I mean, there were a lot of quad jumpers there, but they were concentrated in a few lists, including a 5 quad jumper list, while you had something like 5 1 Upsilon lists. It was crazy. But none of them used this exact configuration except this one.
Right.
So the whole Defender Palp Upsilon combination is really being shown off in this meta for the first time here.
John loves his strong competitive lists and wants to start exploring the competitive nature of the Epsilon, and he's off to a well, he's off to a start that involves not going anywhere at all, but he's off to a start of exploring what the list building can do. That's for sure thing. The Y turns away from the action again, refusing to initiate on John's terms. That seems smart to me.
I think that what Brendan's thinking right now is that since the Upsilon does have those 2 green banks and a 2 green forward, and the Defenders, of course, have the 3 turns, that he could just snap out of there on one of these turns and just end up levying all those guns straight at him. And he doesn't want to really face that before he's got a good position.
Miranda takes a 1 bank.
Now, I wonder about this, though, because since Miranda and the Ys are separated, if I were John this next turn, I think I might just pounce on Miranda.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
if you can just go after hers.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm really unsure of what Brendan has in plan for next turn, whether he intends to go in on John or just turn away and again demand that John initiate, at least somewhat.
Well, technically, now that I think about it, Brendan would be at a severe disadvantage in the final salvo, because those TLTs don't actually make any sort of effect. So it's going to be the 6 dice across those ships versus the 10 on the other side. So he's got to get fighting. But it looks like in this position, it looks like Brendan might actually fall back a little bit since 1 is pointed away, and it's going to get kind of hard to get that Y-wing to turn back in.
If he had his Y-wings ready to turn in up north while Miranda turned in down south, I think that would be one thing.
And I think he also wants Miranda to have the clearance to be able to slam through targets and bomb them. Because I know that actually when he was at regionals and facing some lists, he found that the best way to avoid some bombs was to fly in a close formation with Paratani, which he had, and deny the Ks that opportunity to basically 3-bank, advance slam, 3-bank through them, and then bomb off the side. So he's probably waiting for that Upsilon to make a 1-2 forward, edge out, and then hopefully allow Miranda to, drop a Connor on it, next turn drop an ion bomb, and just give him the business.
Yeah. It's definitely what he needs. There's no good to come from going into John's parking lot over there.
John probably can't park for much longer, because I know that the Upsilon did edge ever so slightly forward again. So I think number 1 there is probably going to bump if it tries another 4K. And if that happens, then ultimately John's going to have to start moving, considering that if he did bump there, you might be able to 3-turn out of that, but it'd be a little awkward, I think. But yeah, it looks like Brendan's pondering the K's move here, probably thinking about whether he wants to be aggressive or defensive.
It's very,
very
tough situation here.
All right, looks like they're ready.
Here come the Defenders.
That's looking like a 4K again. Does he have clearance for that? Oh, well, 2. I don't know. No, that's looking like it's good.
Okay.
And then number 1.
Just barely fits in for the K turn. Gets that nice stack of dice modifying tokens.
All right, so then I guess, the Vanguard Y-Wing out there, number 1 is now turning 2 in, and this one's doing the 1 bank, so they are both maneuvering their way around to try to strike the defenders from the north here, while, oh. All right, yeah, so it looks like Kylo Ren just did a 1 forward and bumped again to clear the stress, and Miranda,
okay.
Yep, Miranda's turning away, and yeah, I think he was thinking what we were thinking, that John was going to start pounce on Miranda.
Right, you want to egg him out.
But instead he stayed put. And that actually is an interesting point here, because that means that the next time John could, do the whole rigmarole again, but then the Y-Wings look like they are going to reach TLT range.
Right.
So I think this next turn is the one where we're going to start to see some action.
Yeah, that's just it. If they flip again, then the TLTs could come in for free shots.
Yep. And now I think even the opposite situation has now appeared, in that in most cases you want to try to take apart a list piece by piece if you can. And now that Miranda's down at the bottom, I would not be surprised if John kind of surged up to try to take those Ys. I'm sort of an aggressive player, so I could be projecting here, but we'll see.
Both John and Brendan have certainly been playing.
Oh, no, this is just the 4Ks again. All right.
The defenders staying in place.
They're defending, gal. And now maybe John thinks that Brendan won't turn in, perhaps? Well, actually, admittedly, with Palp on the board, the chances to get one TLT through are very low. I mean, I'd have to check the whole X-Wing hits calculator, but intuitively, I think the average damage, if you have Palpatine up, is probably something like 0.1, 0.2.
Especially because only one of the two Y-Wings, the second one, has any chance of being in.
Oh, and Kylo stopped and focused.
Okay, well.
That actually surprises me, in that I would have thought, oh wait, yeah, that's right. I would have tried to stop and coordinate, but he might not be in range 2 of number 1 anymore. It's only Major Stridon that has the ability to coordinate at range 3. So, yeah, Miranda is doing that. Okay, now we're in combat. Looks like the only shot we have is Gold Squadron 2 on Delta Squadron 1. Twin laser turret. I think John's reminding him to roll in the
use our die tray.
And that is a crit and 2 focus results. Looks like he's going to spend it, and it makes sense. That's got I'd say a very good chance of at least blowing off some of his tokens, which is exactly what Brendan needs in order to do any damage. And it looks like it's 2 blanks and an eyeball. Now, John could spend all of his mods to block that 1 hit, and I think he probably may, given that with the twin laser turret, even if he rolls really badly. Yep, looks like he's got the focus and evade.
Focus, evade, and Palpatine.
And Palp. Alright, so dodges all the damage. Makes sense.
Alright, twin laser turret number 2.
And it's nothing. An eye and 2 blanks. That
John makes the right decision to get the sure thing.
Well, and with a twin laser turret, yeah, it looks like the other ones are out of range. Ultimately, there's not as much of a downside, given that even if he completely blanks out and he gets 3 hits, the twin laser turret's only going to do 1 damage.
Right.
So I think your incentive to spend all your mods to dodge that 1 damage is much higher. Alright, so the defenders and the Ups continue their ballet.
Through the parking lot.
Yep.
But this is, I think, a good place for Brendan. Brendan is going to be able to get all his ships to bear all at once right now, if he wants to. Or at the very least, if he wants to slow roll this, then can very much have things ready for next turn. But if he just
And that's right. It would be possible, probably, I think, to get the TLTs in range of Defender 1.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just got them right outside the Upsilon's range, well, that would be perfect.
We're seeing a 2-bank to
No,
turn.
it's a
Oh,
two-turn. Yep.
2-turn. I see. Okay.
I think he might be out of range then, I suppose. It's
Yeah.
going to be close. And is that a... It's a white 3 forward. So it looks like he is not going to dive in just yet. He's spending a little more time to get in position with his ships. I presume Kylo is about to go 1 forward. Yep, yeah, 1 forward, clear the stress. Okie doke.
And inching forward. Miranda takes a 3 forward.
Fast as she can go.
Well, Brendan is definitely set up to get twin laser shots for next turn.
And I know I was wrong the last time, but this time I think we're actually going to see some of those Imperials move in, given that I think they have finally run out of time for the K strategy. But also, if they play their cards right, they could very well easily get into those range 1 shots. Maybe range 2, but things are going to get pretty close pretty fast, especially because it looks like those Ys are not going to be able to really zoom past all those arcs, which is kind of what you want with a TLT.
Right, ideally.
And anyways, even if one of the defenders Koreans into one of the Ys, they're X7 defenders.
Oh my
as
goodness.
Some people have noticed, shall we say, that the punishment for flying into a formation like that is substantially lower than it was for some of the ships. But yeah, it looks like it is range 3 point something, which is just not good enough for the TLT. And I wonder if Brendan's going to be able to get to use his homing missiles at this point, because I've always liked those on long-range scanners, Miranda. But okay, here we go. At the Fender 3 bank. And it's already put into a position where I think there is no way for Gold Squadron 1 to dodge a shot. I mean, even if it does the red 3, I think it's going to be an arc.
Yeah.
Alright, so those 2 defenders are now they're licking their chops. They want to shoot some guns or shoot some lasers. Brendan's going to move 2 out of the way.
Oh, okay, just a 1 forward.
Mm-hmm. I think you want to make sure we're still in range.
Yeah, seems good. It seems like he hit a nice range 3 band there.
Oh, and this one is trying to turn away, and it makes some sense.
Yeah, I like this.
Ys are very good at kiting if they can stay at range 3. That is exactly where they want to be versus things like this. Kylo is going to do the 1 forward, but he's going to do the whole thing.
Actually complete his maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness.
He's got an action there, though, and I don't know what he... Oh, I think he's still trying to decide.
He takes a target lock on...
Looks like number 1. The one with score to settle on it. And that makes sense. He wants maximum damage, and that's the one he's already got a soft
Kyle's
focus
got beef with Gold Squadron number 1. And Gold Squadron number 1 also looks like it'll be in range 2 or 3 for both of the defenders as well. So
I think so.
Even if this isn't the best shot for Kylo this turn, as clearly Miranda's a bit closer.
And I feel like this is the exact, right before Miranda shoots, that Kylo Ren's pilot ability is to assign, I'll show you the dark side, which is right there. And you may have seen some talk about that, but the long and short of it is that when this condition is assigned, the Kylo's player chooses a pilot crit. Oh, I'll get back to this. Looks like we've got some combat going on. Looks like it is the homing missile. Miranda burnt a shield to roll the 5th die and spends the focus. For looks like 3 hits and a crit. So Miranda is, I think, down 1 shield, and Kylo is down 4, considering that he blanked on the greens and decided not to palp, which, I mean, yeah, makes sense. Unfortunately, with I'll show you the dark side has now been assigned to Miranda, and I didn't see the card that was passed, but it is probably blinded pilot, considering that damaged cockpit in a way actually helps Miranda. Next time we do this,
well, there's the damage deck.
Yep.
We have to figure out where in the damage deck the dark side is.
We'll see, but yeah, I am pretty sure it's going to be. Normally, I think damaged cockpit is actually more deadly, but we'll see. But it looks like Brendan's now going to have
damaged cockpit is the
PS0.
Yeah,
and it can't be repaired is one of the keys.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, yeah, I do too. But number 2. Wait, did Kylo Ren shoot? I didn't actually see that. Looks like number 2 is firing at Kylo.
There was 2 hits, so I guess that must have gone through on the shuttle, and then the second one was 3 hits, so that must have also gone through.
Yeah, I think he didn't bother rolling because he got multiple hits, and I mean that's all you can do.
One gets another one by spending the focus.
Yep.
And only one this time, and the 4th TLT shot is avoided by Kylo Ren.
Yep, so that's his first damage card down then, I think, for Kylo. That is going to leave us to the defenders. And...
John is...
I think John realized that he forgot to shoot with Kylo. Because I was wondering what happened to that attack. Yep, there we go.
Nice casual tournament. We're testing out our new stuff. Nice.
Alright, so he spends that target lock, and it looks like he had, I think it was hit focus, and he got 2 hits off the blanks with the target lock, and he got a crit with an eye. So, I didn't see the result of that.
Settle, right.
Yes, I didn't see the result of that. I think Brendan rolled 1 evade. So the shields are gone, definitely. While spending the focus in number 2, looks like 3 hits, and it's a focus, so 3 more hits through the gold. I think it has 2 hits left, I believe. Looks like John is taking a moment to stabilize the Upsilon.
What?
I don't know. Maybe he's got a wobbly peg. I know my decimator was that way. So I think Gold Squadron 1 is going to have 2 hits left, and unfortunately, John hasn't shot all his guys yet. I don't think he's used Palpatine even. Yeah, so he's got 2 hits. No, it's a crit and 2 hits naturally. Oh, that's tough. Oh no, maybe he
Palpatine. I mean, this is the last person.
Of course,
this is the last one to shoot Sue.
Major explosion. Gets a crit result. Now that's it.
There we go.
1's gone.
The score has been settled.
I guess that is the way you want to do it, right? Because a score to settle works both ways.
Right.
So you just want to be able to melt that guy immediately.
Yeah.
But yeah, those defenders now swooping in. It's kind of funny in a way, in that PS1 is an advantage to an extent for those defenders. I would never take the PS3 Onyxes because it means you can't really block them, and you always know if you can spend your focus in offense. You know, it's stress-free because if it's left, everyone's probably shot.
You can spend your focus. You can spend Palpatine.
Yep.
You can go. You can go where you want and not get bumped. Not that that matters very much for the X7.
Oh, but it does for the 4K.
But it's, yeah, you're right. For actually turning around and, pointing your firing at things, which I guess is important.
And now Y-Wing 2 is in real trouble here. That's I mean, it looks like he still has TLT shots, but that's still a lot of lasers pointing at him. While,
I mean, if Miranda just bumps into the shuttle here, John could take 2 range 1 shots with those defenders into Miranda, and I think that would be very, very tempting.
Yes. And Miranda could always drop a bomb too.
Right. That would be nice, interesting.
Especially if he knows he's going to bump. So let's see what happens. He is doing... Oh,
Nope, yep. Here's the
he
bump.
is going to bump.
So Miranda is in trouble with these defenders.
And I feel we need to also bring up that the condition, I'll show you the dark side, does not need the ship that applied it to trigger it.
Oh.
So these defenders can easily get that crit through, and if it does, the selected pilot crit will be dealt through shields in lieu of the crit that would have hit otherwise.
Well, I'd be very impressed
Miranda's
if Miranda...
firing at range 1. She regens a shield, so she's back up to the top. Hit crit. Looks like it was Defender 1. And Defender 1 has 1 native, or natural evade, and I guess there's no damage. I thought he would have spent that evade, but maybe I saw some hits that happened. So it looks like one of the die, we had a fugitive die that flew out of the box.
Okay.
We have a hit and 2 eyes there, and
this is coming from Kylo, shooting at...
it has to be 2, given that Miranda's bumped, or Gold Squadron 2, I should say.
Yes, shooting at Gold Squadron 2, yes, exactly.
You know, Kylo doesn't have many hits left, so he's obviously wondering if you should use that eye or not. But it looks like he spent the focus.
Makes sense to me. You're only going to get so much use out of
and I think
defending.
I think he may have palped the crit there, too.
Oh, okay.
So it looks like 4 hits got rolled, 1 evade got rolled, so that's going to be the shields gone for Gold Squadron pilot number 2, which is, again, bad news.
That is interesting. I might have guessed saving Palpatine for trying to obliterate Miranda, but...
I didn't get a good look at that, but it's possible that he thought that Miranda was kind of in a sour spot already, and that he wanted to take advantage of that gun.
Makes sense.
Now, I still think, I don't know what they were mentioning, but I don't think 1 and 2 fired yet. So this is, I think, TLT1 on Kylo. It's a crit and a focus result, so 1 more hit goes through in Kylo. TLT2, and it's 2 hits and an eyeball, and that's just going through. So Kylo, you know, is maybe regretting getting so close, but I think he's still in a good spot. I think this is good use for the shuttle. You're kind of wasting if you don't bring those 4 dice.
I think this was excellent, especially getting the nice... If Miranda was going to get shots on Kylo this turn, it could be disastrous, but because of the nice block, even with all this damage coming through to Kylo, I think this is a really excellent place for John to be.
It's an interesting thing to bring up, though, with Miranda and the bomb, that had Miranda managed to turn and drop the bomb and then subvened it, Kylo would only have 1 hit left. That's enough that Miranda could have killed Kylo alone. So it sort of came to the razor's edge there. I guess that's a good call then on moving Kylo up. Oh, now these are the deltas firing. Got to be on Miranda. Hit crit. Oh, no. So that means that he's going to... Oh, wait, no, it looks like he switched the condition to 2, because Kylo Ren... Oh, that's right. Yeah, because Kylo Ren's ability must be applied. Oh, it looks like... I think they're talking about that right now.
Kylo is incapable of not showing people the dark side.
Yep, so
he simply must.
Yeah, so, looks like, the dark side's on 2. Yeah, but I think... I think that was 2 hits through on Miranda, I believe. And I'm thinking this might be the second Delta firing. I'm not sure why that focus went back on there. And
well, no, the focus is already there.
One of them was firing at the Y.
Okay.
I thought he was going to fire at Miranda. So I think Miranda lost 2 shields, and it looks like the gold might have lost. I think it was 1. It's a little hard to see.
We'll find out when they blow up.
Of course. But either way, those deltas are just very dangerous, because even if Kylo Ren goes down, if they take out that Y, Miranda by herself might not be able to keep up if they just run.
So do you think John is going to go after the Y here, or simply 4K and stay on Miranda?
Well, I know that I would probably go after the Y, but probably what both of them are thinking is that Miranda's going to drop a dial reveal bomb right around now.
Right.
And given that, I think probably what's going to happen is Kylo, depending on how he wants to play it, things would change, but probably what I would do is number one looks like it has a unobstructed 4K. Even if it gets on the debris, it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah.
It could make the 4K and get into position, or a 3-turn to help block Miranda in. Number two could do the 4K and a barrel roll to get a better shot if number one did the 3-turn. And Kylo can stop and coordinate up a target lock on one of them.
Yeah.
And that's might be what he would do. But again, we don't know. John has taken all of us by surprise, I think, with some of these moves. And we'll see what happens. Well, Brendan, if I was Brendan, I would probably do a 3-bank to the left with Miranda. Reveal an ion bomb, get some distance.
Yeah.
Hopefully get some good TLT shots in on the now hurt defenders. Have the Y. Oh, that Y is PS2. Oh, did he... Oh, I get it.
Oh.
They must have done a little bit of a rewind. I get it. I can see why he threw away the dark side condition. Probably John chose a damaged cockpit to put on there, and Brendan probably let him have it because he got a crit before. But it looks like that the defenders are yeah. And actually, that is another bonus of I'll show you the dark side, in that PS1, disadvantage for arc dodging is quite mitigated if you just so happen to have a way to force your enemy to go to PS0.
Right.
And that's just it here. He looks like one is out of arc, defender one, so he's going to scooch in and go for that murderous kill.
Going for the barrel roll, going to get into a nice range 2, maybe even range 1.
Either way, he's got the shot now, and that is important compared to alternative. While I think, yep, he is. Looks like
banking here. We're gonna
do
mark some stuff.
Yep. Sometimes I wonder if the game could be played like a separate layer just for the templates, like a little glass screen at the top. But that'd be too hard to line them up. But yeah, it looks like they're marking all of those to get it.
We'll have 3D X-Wing one day.
Yep. Well, I guess you could play. Well, it's debris. It's a defender.
It is just debris, but I imagine John was hoping for a better location than that.
Admittedly, defenders have many virtues, but their ability to clear stress isn't one of them. If you played a defender for a while, you'll find that you really want to take banks and turns and 4Ks.
And that is one of the things about this list, is that it doesn't really leave room to equip the Time Mark 2 title, which really gives defenders a lot more leeway in their greens.
And it looks like Kylo might have tried a 3 forward, but whatever forward he tried, it's not a 4 or a 5. And it just doesn't fit. So Kylo is once again staying put.
Even if it was a 4 or a 5, I'm not sure Kylo would fit between Defender 1 and Defender 2.
That's a good point. You'd have to have like a set. And even if it was further, I don't know if it would fit between 1 and the Y-Wing. All right, yes, so Miranda is dropping that ion bomb. The defender number 2 is going to be very unhappy, given that it's going to be ioned. It's ion and stressed, and it's going to be double stressed next turn. And he's getting out of there. Oh, but he's doing a 2-turn, which might leave him in the Upsilon's arc. We're going to have to see once that Upsilon comes back, but that would be very sad news for Miranda. Oh,
that is so close.
All right, we're gonna have to see what they see. I think Miranda might have slipped the net, but we'll have to find out soon enough.
If that is just outside of Kylo's firing arc, that would be just beautiful.
Absolutely, because this does put him in a good position to drop another bomb on Kylo next time around. Because it looks like Kylo and Defender number 2 are going to get ion. Defender number 1 looks like he's clear, and I'm sure that. I think Brendan's deciding on his action right now. Once again, he's stymied by the fact that you can only drop 1 bomb a turn, regardless of whether action or dial reveal. Because boy, oh boy, I know he'd sure like a Connor right now. Oh yeah, he's gonna take the target lock on Kylo. Well, I can see he wants that
He wants
kill shot.
yeah. Hopefully, his hope here is to take that range 1 and
Yeah.
just finish this before anything else
All right,
happens.
that looks like it might have been a debris roll.
Oh
That
yeah, for number
that
2 that
because
we
I didn't
missed
see that
earlier.
before, and it looked like a hit. So probably nothing. But yeah, no, I can see that Brendan has reason to not throw in the towel just yet.
Oh my.
Because if he burns a shield, he rolls 4 dice. If he manages to get 4 hits, and it has to be 4 hits because knowing John, he's gonna palp that green die. But
Yeah,
if
of
he gets the
course.
4 hits in and kills Kylo, then it's just Miranda versus defenders, but one of which is already kind of locked in a sad zone where it won't get an evade next turn.
Right.
So then he just have to kill one. But yeah, looks like your start of combat. Bombs detonating.
Now, is this gonna hit both Kylo and Defender number 2? Yes.
Yes. Oh wait, that's right. He's also got Sabine. Let's see who
Okay,
he chooses.
so he'll probably put the Sabine damage on
Oh,
Kylo.
I don't know if he's gonna point it out though. Unfortunately, I'm presuming he did it on Kylo, but we'll have to find out because I saw him burn a shield from Miranda to roll one more, and he's rolling 4 dice against Kylo, and he gets 3 hits and 2 hits. Oh no! Oh
that
no!
hurts.
All right, yeah. So he got, and that is it's an eyeball. He's counting his damage cards. He wants to be sure. And I know that. Oh no, I won't say that right now. But he's applying the condition. I'll show you the dark side, which does go down even if Kylo dies.
Okay.
But he hasn't. Yeah, I show you the dark side to slow down the game. You can see this in real time as like the decks come out. And he's turned it to an evade, so that means he used Palp. Yep. And I think Kylo's got 1 hit left, I believe. I see 4 damage cards there, but I presume there'd be 1 more because
yeah, unless I mean I'm assuming that
it depends on the
used
Sabine damage
on Kylo.
Yep. But that reroll is heartbreaking because if Brendan got 1 more hit in and knocked down Kylo, then this would be a different game.
It would be so different. That hanging on for 1 more turn.
Right. Because Gold Squadron 2 has got a pretty decent chance of getting PS killed here.
Yeah.
It's sad to say. He's got no focus for defense because he did that K turn there. So we'll see. I think they're still talking about. I'll show you the dark side.
John's going through the damage deck trying to figure things out. It takes a while to show people the dark side. It's not like an immediate sort of thing, where you can just here exactly the dark side.
There we go.
No, okay, yeah, it takes a second. There we go.
You need to wait for the sun to go down. Yeah. All right, they've got us. I don't know what he assigned, but at this point in the game, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the last damage cockpit, which maybe that's why it took so long.
To just get it out of the deck.
Maybe. All right, but now the PS1 defenders are firing before the PS0 Gold Squaddy. And looks like Delta 1's firing.
Range 1.
Looks like it is hit, crit, and a blank. And it's an evade. But it's still a hit crit. Next time we'll mention, they gotta hold up those crits. But at the very least, that is more unhappy damage piling. No, never mind.
Oh, okay. We missed something earlier. That is goodbye Y-Wing number 2.
Now, I recall afterwards, now that I've seen this happen, I think it's possible that he got a direct hit.
Okay.
Because I think I heard Brendan say something about that. So maybe he had another hit in. But now this is a sad day in that Defender 2 is still in the unhappy
forced
zone.
to ion over the debris and
but doesn't have a blank
3 times.
Yep.
No, I guess just these 2 times he'll hit.
People always talk about the Defenders being very resistant to stress control, which it sort of is, but not ion control. But at this point, it's Miranda versus a lot of
the world.
Yes. Now, for once, I thought Kylo would have stopped here.
Yeah, that's
But
just it. Miranda only
yeah,
has so many different places to go if she doesn't want to fly off the board.
yep. But
Um,
Kylo still got his actions. 2 has no action, and 1 just did the standard defender focus for that focus evade cocktail. But yeah, no, Kylo hasn't done his action yet. So let's see what happens.
and coordinate is a free action, so he wouldn't be able to assign that to the stress.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can assign it to ships on rocks, though, which is a really cool thing you don't often see. I mean, I think that FAQ clarifying that might have come out when Lando was first introduced.
Good old Lando.
Mm-hmm. And now Miranda has not moved yet.
Perhaps deciding on whether to drop the last ion bomb, which, if we've been counting Kylo's damage correctly, might just be able to finish things with Sabine.
Mm-hmm. Kylo is doubly immunized versus the debris damage because of Palpatine and collision detector, but looks like he is not gonna drop the bomb, at least as far as I can see. Though they're talking about something, so I'm not sure.
The dark side, probably.
Yeah.
Probably still trying to show it to one another.
In theory, I don't know. It's still a little bit of sight unseen about how it's going to fully affect the meta, and I don't want to make any calls early on, but it does seem like for at least a little while we're going to have some more of this, considerable talking. But yeah, he did not drop the bomb. I think
okay.
He's probably thinking that Defender 1 looks like he's out of range. Defender 2 can't shoot him in any case, and he's just going to go for the kill shot versus Kylo with his primaries and hopefully save the ion bombs versus the defenders, where they're probably going to be a little more useful. So he's going to fire at Kylo, range 1. Kylo I don't think has arc this time either, but we'll find out soon enough.
It's close again, but I think Miranda is out.
Yeah, I am surprised Kylo didn't stop again, but
well, Kylo was ionized.
Oh, sorry, that's right, of course. Silly. Yeah, you don't see a lot of ion control.
Okay, considering a TLT shot somewhere else.
Probably for the shield regen, maybe.
Ah, okay.
I just go kill Kylo.
Even if you wanted to regenerate. Oh, I see.
Oh, it looks like they might be talking about whether it's obstructed.
Oh, and underneath the thing.
Yeah, and it looks like it might be from here.
I'm still just surprised that he's shooting at anyone but Kylo.
Yeah, I feel,
but perhaps
a kill in the hand is worth 2 in a bush. But he rolls 1 hit and 2 eyes and spends the focus versus the defender. And the defender looks like he's got 1 evade and 1 focus.
Okay.
And he's probably just spended his spended. I think what happened is it looks like I think he just took both hits. I didn't see Palpatine.
Okay.
So I think Defender 2 is just down 2 now. And that's no, down 1 is TLT. That's right. Defender 2 is down 1, and then TLT shot 2 missed.
Okay.
So Miranda is now up a shield as well, but just did not see the results that I think he wanted.
Yeah, I guess I see the concept behind wanting, thinking like, okay, these defenders are going to have focus evade from now until forever if we're going anywhere with this game. Might as well try and take some damage off at the time. This seems really, I really don't understand why he didn't go for the kill on Kylo.
Right. But it looks like we're back to dials. 2 is no longer ionized, but it is stressed, and I am pretty darn sure that the 4K is obstructed. So he's going to do whatever it is. Probably go in for a 3 blank or 3 turn to the left or block, maybe even a 2 bank in that sense. The world is defender number 1's oyster. He can do a 3 forward, he can do a 3 bank, he can do a 5 forward maybe.
The only thing defender 1 has to worry about is his own ships.
Yep. And Kylo is probably going to stop and coordinate. At least that's what I would do. If you're going to get stressed already, you might as well get that action. In fact, interesting thing about Pattern Analyzer is that if you hit the debris Pattern Analyzer means that I believe you still get your action,
Oh,
but you
really?
do get the stress afterwards. So that with Pattern Analyzer, if you had a green maneuver and you do an action that stresses you, you then clear it, but debris happens after all of that. But I will check that, because the last time that came up was a while ago in a Pattern Analyzer backdraft game. So
We're deciding where Miranda's going. Makes sense. This is a tough decision for Brendan.
I mean, it's the exact opposite for him, given that, you know, the defenders are the defenders. They have some pretty decent moves and not much opportunities. Brendan's probably wondering who wants to go 3 forward. If he wants to maybe turn in and hope he can slam past Kylo, perhaps. Or if
man.
But probably one of the chief things that he's thinking is that Miranda is now alone, and Kylo is pointed in the worst possible direction for Miranda, which is in her path.
Right.
So he's probably trying to decide between like a 3 forward and a 3 bank out of there, or maybe I don't know. Actually, we'll see.
Goes in, slams, and then drops a Connor net in the middle. Nah.
Well, it would only hit one of them anyways.
Right, right.
So yeah, defender number 1 is just doing what defenders do, which is taking a 3 bank and a focus and evade in a bad place. Well, defender 2 probably has already decided that he can't be in a great position, and so he's just getting out of there to probably 3 turn later and help close off Miranda's avenues of escape. Let's see, is he gonna stop?
Anyway.
No, he's going for the 3 bank, which is white on the Upsilon, getting a stress, and technically he is going to have to roll for damage, but with collision detector, he's not going to take damage from that. He will take the stress though, but we'll see what's going to happen here.
Gives himself the stress.
Yeah, maybe he didn't pattern analyze. I'm still pretty sure that does work, but oh no, he did. He did pattern analyze. There we go. Focus. I would have been tempted to actually just give a target lock to 1 there with coordinate, but he's probably thinking that there's a decent chance that Miranda's going to overshoot and end up right in Kylo's guns. And that, or he just wants the extra defense so Kylo doesn't pop. But
yeah,
if Miranda has a shot, Kylo is out of here. And Miranda...
I feel like if Miranda does go forward... Okay, just the 1. Ooh,
it does dodge Kylo's guns, but does put her right in the sights of defender number 1.
Probably range 2 of defender number 1.
Well, range 2 wouldn't be the worst, given that he's still got the TLT double tap, but we know 1 TLT, yeah, he's measuring for that now, but 1 TLT versus focus, evade, and palp. Ooh. He'd have to roll perfect, I think, twice. So yeah, it's 2 hits versus defender, 2 natural evades, exactly what he doesn't want to see.
I'm not quite sure, actually, which of the 2 defenders he's shooting at.
Oh, that's true. It might be 2, actually.
Number 2, who has fewer tokens and
already it was number 2, but unfortunately, no damage went through.
Tough times, tough times.
Yeah, it looks like he didn't regenerate shields then, because I guess he really wanted the chance at full damage. But now, number 1's firing back just that 1. All right, it looks like it's hit crit eyeball, and
oh,
that was cocked. That was cocked.
I see.
So, but he palped it. Looks like to a crit.
Right.
So it's crit hit. Gets the evade, and then up in the top left corner was I'll show you the dark side, and that is going through. In fact, I think we may have actually made a mistake here, and then I'm looking up. I think that's Miranda's card in the upper left-hand corner, and it looks like she already had a damage card 2 on there because I showed you the dark side. Maybe I'm not sure.
Straight through the shield.
But at the very least, Miranda now has a crit on her.
Right.
And I'm reasonably sure it's blinded pilot because I can see up there it's only 1 line of text, which I sort of remember. Because I think every X-Wing player remembers the anguish of getting blinded pilot when you don't want it. But once again,
pilot, definitely one of the scariest pilot ones.
Taking
a slightly risky 4K, but eyes it out well. Does John for defender number 1?
Meanwhile, 2 did a 4 forward, and for once cleared off a stress. He's halfway there.
Making progress. Making progress.
I'm not sure. I don't know. He's looking at the dials for a second, like he flipped them. But I mean, I think these are very reasonable maneuvers. So, oh, but two does need that evade token. I think he forgot about that. No, knowing John will probably remember that. But it looks like Miranda does not have. Oh no, it's the weird thing with I'll show you the dark side that I think Miranda still has 3 shields, just a damage card or 2 through it. This is going to get hard as we see more Kylos on the field.
We will try and keep things up to date.
But looks like the Upsilon is making a maneuver. Looks like it's going to be a bank. Yeah, I think it is 3. Yeah, no, I can see. Now, at this point, John probably thought there's no reasonable chance for him to get a shot with Kylo, so he's going to take that 2 green bank that the Upsilon has, white 1 bank, 2 green bank, and just close off Miranda's avenues of escape. So now whatever Miranda does, she is going to end up in the sights of Defender 1 again. Actually, hold on a second. I think that explains why he didn't take a few of those shots with Kylo. He's probably concerned about I'll show you the dark side.
Oh,
which is an interesting little mind game. Because it is, in a way, I talked to John a little bit about this before, and he was talking about Kylo Ren Pilot as sort of like a built-in rebel captive for that. Right. That it's a way to discourage people from attacking you. And now that I think about it, I think it's done a good job here.
Okay, looks like the ion bomb, the second ion bomb.
Oh no, he already made his maneuver. I think he just did a counter net. And I think they both mutually agreed that it was so obvious that he didn't put it down.
Okay. So a Connor net,
I believe.
So that should be 2 damage with Sabine to
number 1.
Delta number 1.
Yep. You know, why didn't he use Sabine and Kylo then, right?
He could have. This seems strange to me.
Yeah, but yeah, it looks like he also burned a shield to fire at 1. No. I don't.
Okay, Palpatine. And the evade.
I'm not quite sure what happened. No, okay, never mind, I remember. No. Miranda didn't shoot. Blinded Pilot. That's what happened. Dang Kylo. Blinded him. So Blinded Pilot flipped down, and that was, unfortunately, hit, crit, I think, onto Miranda with the aid of Palpatine. So I think her shields are gone, and I think she's lost another hull at this point. In the future, of course, we're going to talk to people about putting the damage cards up so we can get a good look at what's on there. But I can see another crit on Miranda right now. And that is just a sad day for her, because unlike the previous shuttle, that big Upsilon does have a white turn. And with Pattern Analyzer, he could just as easily do a 1 red turn and still get a focus or a target.
Oh wow, I forgot about that 1 red turn.
Yeah, that's no, it's essentially the Ghost style, but with a stop instead of the 4 forward and the 5K. But it does mean that right now Miranda is in a pickle. That 1 is going to go 1 forward, but it's still going to be hard to evade. 2's actually a little bit of an awkward spot, to be honest. Yeah. But can't K. We'll see. What I really would like to know, though, is what that crit is, because if it is Blinded Pilot, then I would say this might be in the bag. For John, if it's not Blinded Pilot, then this is still anyone's game, because 1 shot, oh no, damaged cockpit, right? Because now one of these that's what he was looking for last time, or at some point. He must have put Miranda, oh sorry, never mind, I'm wrong. No. I wasn't thinking about that correctly. Okay. No, she's still moving last. Once again, Kylo has made the bookkeeping here somewhat more fraught. So, yeah, Defender number 2 is just taking a 3 turn, reasonable.
Our first video back, and we have to try and figure out everything about the dark side. Thanks, Kylo. Appreciate it.
He's tearing us apart. Defender number 1 is in a prime bomb zone, and Miranda still has some bombs left, so I think she's gonna dump whatever she has.
Here comes that.
No homing missile shots other than that first one, though, so I guess that's still in the tube. I still think maybe. Okay, yeah, so Kylo did make the white turn and took his focus.
If Miranda goes forward at all here, she'll have trouble getting out of...
All right, Miranda's dropping the ion bomb. It looks like they're both mutually agreeing. It's so obviously there. They just kind of put that there. And is 2 forward, which is yeah, definitely in range.
Oof.
All right, so Delta is going to take one more, or Delta number 1 is going to take 1 more damage from Sabine. And let's see if he's blinded after all.
Okay, Miranda is finally shooting at Kylo again.
All right, it's 1 hit. I'm presuming this is a TLT there. Gonna spend the focus for the 2 hits.
Okay.
Oh
okay,
no, Kylo
so
did have 1 hit left then.
Our mistake.
So Kylo is apparently still alive and is assigned, I'll show you the dark side again. That looks like it's stunned pilot, though I'm sort of guessing a little bit.
Stunned pilot is don't bump?
Yeah, it's if you bump into someone or land on, not through, in a rock, you take a damage in addition to the other effects. And this is TLT2, which is 1 hit. Ooh.
Oof.
Yeah, more dark side tomfoolery there, and Brendan just wants to see that blank here, and no, that's...
Well, no matter what, Palpatine.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was a blank and Palpatine.
Yep.
Ah, dang. Yeah, so I guess in that last Connor, that Sabine damage really would have been well applied to Kylo, because now it looks like Defender 1 is firing at Miranda. Looks like 3 hits. He's got nothing. I think this is it. Yep, there we go. So half credit on the Kylo mobile, but no losses from the Empire/First Order.
John continues his winning ways and shows us an excellent example of how to use the new shuttle.
While Brendan here, he's a very good player, and he's in many ways, I guess, the guinea pig, that he's one of the first ones to face, you know, the new hotness here with the Upsilon, with Kylo, and undoubtedly we can see that it is risky business to face that.
Thank you so much for watching. We are NYC X-Wing. Find us on Facebook and Twitter, and of course here on YouTube. Signing off, my name's Cal Neuvost.
And my name's Steve Wooten.